Good morning, people. Monday motivation. What I need you to do today and for the rest of this week to see unbelievable change is sprinkle some old school flavor on your life. I need you to go the old school and I need you to go back to basics, because what we're doing on so many things is we're overcomplicating things. We're making problems where there shouldn't be problems. We're looking at things in ways where it shouldn't be looked at. Listen, we're asking questions that don't need to be asked. Now, I'm all for progress. I'm all for self-development. I'm all for evolution and evolving in some shape, way or form in a lot of things. But there's so much where the obvious is just smacking us straight in the face. And that is going back to basics and doing stuff how stuff always has been done. Because here's the thing. There's a massive thing that is staring me in the face that has become a realization to me. Are we that broken? Have we fallen that far where we have to read a book, where we have to go to seminars, we have to listen to advice, we have to go on courses on how to be happy? Have we fallen that far that we forgot how to be happy? Have we fallen that far and forgotten? Are we that broken that we have forgotten how to be happy and what brings us joy? Have we fallen that far? Just ask yourself that question, because all these courses and all this advice and all these programs, listen, they have their place and they're doing some fantastic stuff. But what you're doing is you're focusing on the answer as opposed to really analyzing the problem. And it's like mopping up, keep on mopping up after something's been spilled. Well, let's try and stop the spill from happening. Let's be proactive instead of reactive. And if we've fallen so far that we need to read a book telling us how to be happy, going on a course, going on a seminar, taking advice from people, taking knowledge from people that we have to be happy, man, have we fallen that far? Well, what we're doing is we have forgotten the basics. Listen, basics is back there saying, listen, where have you gone? Where have you gone? Listen, I'm here. You didn't need to wander away from me. I've always done a job. I've always got the job done and I've kept people happy. This is what you have to do when you've wandered it off. Because when you look back at past generations, when you look back at your grandparents, your great-grandparents, listen, people that were happy whilst bombs were dropping around them. People that were happy when they were on rations, when they were starving, when they didn't have a lot of food. But you know what? While bombs were dropping and they had one slice of bread left, and it may be their child and the next door neighbour's child that need to eat. So what they'll do is they'll cut the slice of bread in half and they'll give it to the two children. Even though all that stuff was happening, what they was doing was they were still surrounding a piano in the evening and singing Knees Up Mother Brown and saying, listen, we will not be moved. But we've fallen so far away from the basics that we have forgotten how to make ourselves happy. Listen, and this is quite worrying. This is quite worrying that we need to be reminded. So listen, the basics is that you've forgotten how to go out and enjoy creation, where you're going out and breathing the air that you're lucky to breathe, walking in the places that you're lucky to walk in, enjoying the sights in which you see. When was the last time you stood on a shore and listened to the waves crash against the rocks? When was the last time you've done that? When was the last time that you actually listened to those waves and thought, that is ultimate power right there? That thing that you're listening to, this is how majestic it is. This is how phenomenal it is. You can paddle in that thing that's around you that you're listening to. You can go in for a swim. It's rather relaxing. It keeps you fit. Listen, you can take your kids into it and you can create some beautiful memories. But then you've got to understand the power if it wants to. Listen, the tide comes in, the tide comes out. That's a shift of power. You don't understand what needs to happen for that to take place. But then you realize that stuff in which you can paddle in, which you can swim in, which you can wade in and create beautiful memories in, that thing right there can actually destroy communities, can actually take life in a single second because of its power, because of its ferocity. If the tidal wave comes, if a tsunami comes, listen, and it has taken life, that thing that's around you, how grateful are you for it? Because there's something out there that's bigger than you. There's something out there that's better than you, that you understand that you're in amongst wonder, that you're in amongst beautiful creation, that you're in amongst a phenomenal environment. When was the last time you've done that? When was the last time you sat on a bench and listened to a bird tweeting, where a bird, listen, that can be a mum calling its kids. That can be a mum saying, I'm going out to hunt. I'm going out now to get the food that will keep you growing, that will keep you progressing. I've got to feed my family. I've got to feed my kids. That could be the kids, the babies actually shouting to their mum, saying that they're hungry, and the mum answers the call, where they are going out and getting the food, and they are having the food only enough for that particular day. Give us our day, our daily bread. The necessities today, the only things that you need today are given, and the lessons are being given by a bird, and that's all we need. But what we do is we're so concentrating on progress. We're so concentrating, so focused on reaching the next level. And so many people tell you to reach the next level, that we forget about the gratitude, and we forget about the thankfulness of the level in which we're already on and what we're already doing. And we forget what we've already got. But we're so focused on the cheese of progress in our work, more money, getting bigger, expanding, blah, 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 all this stuff that we're focusing on the cheese, that the trap has sprung, bang, and it's got us there. And now it's going to be a fight to actually push that trap back, because we are so steeped in a culture of busyness. And we forgot the basics of just standing still, being quiet, and knowing what we're surrounded by, and knowing who we are, know our place on this magnificent creation that is Earth, and all the power that we're surrounded by. Because I put up a post not too long ago about an alarm clock, saying that if you swap your phone for an alarm clock, if you plug your phone in downstairs and get an alarm clock that does the job of a phone, because people say, oh, I keep my phone next to me because it's got a clock in it. No. Go out and buy a clock. Go out and buy a clock and plug your phone in downstairs. And then it takes away the temptation of when you wake up, when you're scrolling through it, and the first thing you do is reach for it to react to people on social media. So that's what you've got to do, is literally get the basic thing. Going back to basics of an alarm clock that does an alarm clock's job. And keep the phone downstairs, that then you will realise and soon know that you will get a good night's sleep. Get a good night's sleep. Basics. But we've forgotten about this stuff. We're so steeped in the culture, and we are now in the trap. And it's going to take a lot of strength and a lot of effort and a lot of work to push that trap back for you to get out and say, listen, basics, listen, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I left you. Listen, I'm back now. I'm ready to get my life back again. I'm ready to get my happiness back again. I'm ready to get my joy back again. Because here's the thing, happiness and joy are two totally different things. Happiness you get because of a circumstance. If something good happens to you, you're happy. It is because of a circumstance. Joy is in spite of a circumstance. So don't strive for happiness, strive for joy. What brings you joy? If standing on the shore, listening to the waves brings you joy, you do that. If going for a walk brings you joy, you do that. Sitting on a bench, listening to her mum, the mama bird, feed her kids, and her kids call to the mother bird, and then the mama bird reacts to their call and says, kids, listen, I've got you this. Man, if that brings you joy, then you do it. Listen, you go out and do what you need to do to bring you joy, people. Don't strive for happiness, strive for joy. But we have fallen so far. We are that broken that we've forgotten how to be happy. And we've certainly forgot how to be joyful. So go back to basics. Do what's always been done. The tried and tested methods of, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Don't overcomplicate stuff. Don't get caught up in the rush. Don't get caught up in the busyness. Take time out. Enjoy what's around you, and go back to basics on so many levels today and for this week. Do it the old school way. Sprinkle that old school flavour, and see your life change in many, many different ways. Back to basics, people. Back to basics, and blessings.